Hi, my name is Eleanor, and I am going to show to you. Sorry, I should have shown this up before. Uh, my project on Swyer syndrome. So my first page is obviously just my description, just the general background information. This was actually, I think, the hardest slide for me to make because it felt like everything I could put in my introduction, I could put on like every other slide. But general description, I have this image on just other general information, the background about Swyers, signs and symptoms, causes, and then further down I have something on the basic phenotype, as well as an image on the phenotype as well. So, symptom slide. General introduction. There's not, I wish there was more I could have put about symptoms, but it's very straightforward. There's not really anything, only a certain amount of people will experience compared to others. The main thing happens to be street gonads, and then amenorrhea as well, which is, you don't have a period, you don't menstruate. I happen to know somebody who has Swyers. I'm actually related to them. One of my cousins. She is about 6 foot, 6'1", and she tends to have all the basic symptoms of it. She's incredibly tall. She has no sexual characteristics. She really doesn't have any breast tissue, and then no ovaries as well. And then I have this diagnosis page as well. Another little image here on amenorrhea. And then we move into phenotypes. Okay, I need to make sure I'm talking about the right things here. Yes, okay. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So I also really wanted to cover what happens to be the testes. They happen to be the main part of the genetics. Most of the genetic causes of Swyer syndrome have to do with the testes. I have research included on this slide, information about the anti-Mullerian hormone or AHM. I also have this little section on the testes as well as an image of the testes that I feel like, this is what a regular testes looks like. And then I also explain in this section about why people with Swyer syndrome don't have testes that look like this. They have street gonads instead. And then I also wanted to cover the interaction between the SRY gene and SOX9. I talk about the SRY gene in the next page as well and how it interacts with other genes. But this happens to be kind of how the testes and the street gonads happen to get formed. My genetic slide on genes. We have a brief introduction and then the interaction between SRY and TDF, or a testes determining factor. It was very interesting for me to learn about TDF. It wasn't really something I had known about beforehand, so I liked getting to research this. I love doing all the research for this project in general. And then I also have this image here that I thought was perfectly related. It has the general information of how you, as an individual, that may have XY gonads and how your testes develop. You start with the SRY gene and then SOX9 and then boom, testes. And then you have the same thing for someone with XX gonads. Then patterns of inheritance, just explains how Swyer syndrome is inherited. And then just a brief little image on inheritance and pedigree charts as well, because I happen to talk about inheritance, so I thought pedigree chart would help people who aren't too sure of the patterns of inheritance. Treatment slide. There's not, I really, really wish I could have researched more on more treatment breakthroughs if I had the time to do so. But this happens to explain the current treatments for Swyer syndrome and the fact that, yes, with a medical intervention, you can go through IVF and pregnancy is possible. I also have a few images down here with that. And then under the research slide, I do have some research that talks about an individual who did manage to get pregnant while having Swyer syndrome. I have this little section here on animal models and research, a section on why it's important for medical providers to understand Swyer syndrome, how to diagnose it, what it looks like to make sure people don't walk away with a wrong diagnosis. And then a research on phenotypes with Swyer syndrome, sexual differentiation, and then my citations. If I had more time, I would have loved to include a section on maybe statements from individuals who have the disease, what their life is like, how they're treated, what it was like for them to get diagnosed. And that's definitely something I would have included if I had the time. But yes, so that's my project. Thank you.